Hey YouTube, Jake Kilroy here. A little prelude to our videos getting ready to come up. First thing I'd like to do is I'd like to reach out to Mr. Ray Cornelia. Ray's Garage, link. Check out Ray's channel. Ray sent me some decals, some stickers here. And I gotta say, Ray, that whoever's doing your graphics work, I want a referral, buddy, because that is some fine work. Ray, there's Ray's card, Ray Cornelia, Ray's Garage, Ray'sGarage69.com. Will take you directly to his YouTube page. Check it out. Like Tom Lipton says, Ray's got the cleanest shop known to mankind. That's Tom saying that. And Tom's shop is spotless compared to mine. Anyway, next, more viewer mail. Mr. James Deadman sent me. It's very nice. Magnetic aluminum holder for a Sharpie and a pen. James, you're probably wondering why I only have one of these in my hand, because James sent me two. He goes by Jim. Jim Devin. He goes by Jim. He sent me two of these. And you're wondering, well, Kilroy, what happened to the second one? Well, I opened the mail at home and pulled it out and said, hey, this is to the wife, she who must be obeyed. Took one from my hand and said, oh, that's neat. I explained to her what it was. And she promptly stuck it to the fridge. It's gone, right? Just gone. So I still have one. So thank you very much, James. Anyway, we're going to proceed on to the video. We're getting ready to do a video. This video is going to have a lot of shaper action. A lot of shaper action in it. A lot of slow-mo shaper action. Curly chips, smoking chips flying through the air. So if you're a shaper fan, you're really going to dig it. And because it's shaper oriented, I wanted to give a shout out to another YouTuber that does a lot of shaper work, and that's Stefan Gottswinter. I believe I pronounced that right, Stefan. I hope that I have. Stefan is a European shaper enthusiast. There's a link to his channel. Check his channel out. Stefan does some fantastic work with his shaper. He's got a really nice GAC tool room shaper, which is a European brand. He also has a very nice CNC mill that he built himself. He's building a miniature 1911. So go check Stefan's channel out. You're going to enjoy it. So now, let's get to the video. Hey YouTube, Jake Kilroy back in the shop. We've got a severe case of Projectus Interuptus. And what that is, and you've all experienced it, you're in the middle of a project, you start looking around the shop for something that you need for the project that you're pretty sure you have, and you can't find it. Or, worst case scenario, you might remember that there's an off chance that you might have used said object for raw materials. I know that this only happens to me, or my buddy down the street. Actually, it doesn't happen, it just happens to him. It couldn't be the case that I could have taken a piece of tooling and used it as raw materials. So we're working on the angle plate project, and got to this point here, did some more work, and I was looking for a what I called a table stop that I had made some time ago, and it was just a simple affair with a piece of angle with some holes in it to bolt to the table to use as a stop to put work pieces up against. And I used it primarily on the big Crane Trekker, so that when you can put one or multiple work pieces up against it and give yourself a good reference. And it's very handy, especially when you're doing horizontal milling, or you're not able to hold your workpiece with a vise. So I had one, and there wasn't a lot to it, and it was made out of a piece of angle, and I think it's entirely possible that I may have hijacked that piece of tooling and used it for something else. So we got to make a new one, and because of that, I decided I'm going to do it right this time and make a decent piece of tooling that I won't be tempted to use as raw material in the future. So we're going to do this the right way. So let's go to the computer and pull up the CAD work. All right, so here we are. Here is the new lathe stop that I have drawn up. Like I said, the old one was just a piece of angle with some holes in it so that I could bolt it to the table, and I think I accidentally used it as raw materials, or maybe even threw it away. The different in the scrap, this one here is going to have slots for keys, so that you can orient it with table slots if that's your deal. And then it's going to have two long slots for hold down bolts, and that long slots gives you the ability to angle it and get some different setups there. So this is the piece here. It is as wide as the table on this machine, which is 15 inches wide. This is going to be made out of a piece of 4x4 angle, thick 4x4 angle that I've got over here. And so let's get started. You see, we're going to cut one down here. We're going to cut this one flange down. This is pretty much almost full width. I think I just cut the curve section off here. So this is probably like 3.75 inches. I think this is going to be cut down to 2 inches. If it's too tall, then you have trouble putting shorter parts there behind it. Matter of fact, I might even consider 1.5 inches. So let's get some parts, get some raw material over the saw, and do some cutting. All right, we got our donor here. It's sacrificing the for the cause. This rather large piece of 4-inch angle. Get a little anchor lube on there, and let's get the cut going. Here's one of the reasons I really dig anchor lube on the bandsaw. See here, you can just take the lube and you can lay it right down over the cut raw and not use too much, not make a big mess. It stays in place, and it just does a fantastic job.
Well, there we go.
Okay, YouTube, we are back. We got our piece of angle in the shaper here. We're going to use the shaper to rough the bottom. This is our bottom surface. We're going to rough out across here. Then we're going to come back, probably make a couple of passes, and we're going to come back with a finish tool, and we'll make a finish cut off this bottom edge. Then we'll set we start using that bottom edge as our reference. I had to do a little trimming on the mill, on the shaper here to make sure that my cut was flat across the surface here. And got that all trimmed up. Got the knee support in tight. And we're running at running at 32 strokes a minute with about a 17-inch stroke length. Which gives us around 104 surface feet per minute. I might slow that down a little bit. Yeah, so we slowed that down to about 27 strokes per minute, which gives us about 80 to 90 surface feet per minute. I'm going to show you what 27 strokes per minute looks like with 17 inches of stroke. Oops. No, I'm not in gear here. There we go. We're at 22 strokes per minute, and this is 17 inches of stroke. That should give us about 70 surface feet per minute across the surface here. Let's lube liberally. We're running about a 30,000 step over. so we've roughed off our surface here. This is how you know you're working your shaper out here. Listen to this. That's the chips. So we got some really nice dark blue spirals off of there, cutting that scale off this piece of hot roll. And so that's really all we needed to do there. So we're going to go ahead and get set up and then take a finish cut. So we're on our finish cut here. This is a really shallow cut. This is a couple thou. We're using a high shear bit. And we're trying to keep the chips off the cut so we don't recut the chip. And I think you'll be able to see the surface finish we're getting here is pretty darn nice. Hey, here's a fun trick. I stuck a magnet on the corner of the workpiece, and the shearing bit dumps the chips off right where the magnet can pick them up and kind of keep them from flying all over the place. Kind of fun. Okay guys, about halfway through this finish cut, I just want to take a little brief pause so you could see the difference between a honed and unhoned edge. I had made a pass with the finishing tool and got this finish here, and you can hear that. I wasn't happy with it. It was vastly better than the roughing pass, but I wasn't happy with it. So I took my tool off and hand honed it, with some 600 grit stone, and put it back on, and I'm getting just a fantastic finish here. Just fabulous finish. You can see the reflection right there quite clearly of my fingers. Okay guys, here we are. We're cruising along on our work stop here. We've got a wonderful smooth finish here on what's going to turn out to be the bottom of this work stop. And then on the vertical section, I've put some spray layout dye on there, and I've scribed a line down here giving us a 2-inch, a little over 2 inches in vertical, so that I can go over here to the bandsaw. We're gonna, the vertical bandsaw, and we're gonna slice off this slab of steel here rather than go through and try to mill this off, anything like that. No faster way to remove material than the saw. So let's get over to the bandsaw and make that happen. All right, we're over at the bandsaw. We've got our blade speed set here at about somewhere between 200 and 250 surface feet per minute. And we're just going to pick up this scribe line here and go with it. Alrighty, there we go. Alright, we're back in the shaper. Here's the surface that we just cut. It's rough. I didn't use a fence or anything, but it's generous. Leaves me material to cut off. This is what's the stop face. So we're going to go ahead and rough machine this stop face, finish machine this stop face, so that we'll have a finished machine bottom and face. Then we will flip this around in the vise against this face and the stop face, both those faces, and then we will machine this top face right here. So let's go ahead and get the shaper fired up. So we finished all of our shaper work all the way around, and now we're just going to trim the ends up here on the Kearney trucker. We've got a 5 flute 1 1/4 inch rougher in, and we're just going to make a light pass to clean up both ends. Taking about a 1/16 of an inch, climb cutting so that we get a nice finish. Running about 150 RPM. Feeding about a little under 3 inches a minute. Alright, let's regroup at the bench. So there we go. We are about 3/4 of the way through with this piece here. We are finished on all the sides except for here. So in the next video we're going to mill the slots, and we're going to mill the slots for keys on the bottom. The big mill takes a 3/4 inch key, so we're going to mill horizontal and vertical to be able to use this oriented either way, and then we're going to mill some slots for 3/4 inch hardware, and that'll be that. and then we can move back, get back going on our other project. I did take a file and relieve all these corners from the shaper. The square edges left by the shaper are just deadly sharp. So anyway, that's the end of Projectus Interruptus number 1. And we'll finish this up in Projectus Interruptus number 2 and get back on the angle plate castings. Be safe in the shop, and I'll talk to you soon.